Hello, Leo soul, and welcome back to this sacred space. I am Luna Celestine, here to guide you through the whispers of the cosmos on this powerful July 21st. The universe has been quietly preparing you for this moment, one that marks a deep and undeniable turning point in your inner world. You are stepping into a phase of release, Leo, where the past no longer holds power over your present. The weight you've carried, the relationships that drained your light, the thoughts that kept looping without answers, the patterns that made you question your worth, all of it is slowly loosening its grip, not through force, but through a quiet inner knowing that you no longer need to carry what was never meant to be yours forever. This isn't about rushing into something new just to escape the old. It's about standing still in your truth long enough to realize that clarity has arrived. You're beginning to see your desires not as distant dreams, but as real and reachable. This clarity isn't loud or dramatic. It's calm, steady, and deeply personal. It's the soft light after a long storm, revealing what truly matters. And as this inner clarity rises, so does your energy. You're no longer running in circles, you're moving forward. Every step is guided, every choice more aligned. A new chapter is unfolding for you, not because you forced it, but because you were finally ready to let go of what never truly fit. Let this be your quiet revolution. The path ahead may still hold unknowns, but you are walking it with clearer eyes and an open heart, and that changes everything. And now, as you walk more firmly in your truth, Leo, the light you carry within begins to draw attention, not for show, not for validation, but as a natural result of your consistency, your quiet strength, and your refusal to give up on what matters to you. In your career, there is a noticeable shift. The energy of recognition is beginning to surround you. After so many cycles of giving your all without clear reward, the tides are finally turning. Your work is no longer being overlooked. The passion, the late nights, the faith you held onto even when nothing seemed to move, it's all being felt now by the right people at the right time. You may begin to notice unexpected invitations, collaborations that feel aligned, opportunities that don't require you to chase or prove, but simply invite you to show up as you are. These are not accidental. They are part of the quiet reward system of the universe when someone continues to create with intention and heart. Success is no longer about pushing through resistance, but about flowing with connections that feel genuine and mutual. Whether it's through community, a shared vision, or someone silently watching your journey with admiration, new doors are opening, and they may not look like what you imagined, but they will feel right when you stand before them. One person in particular may emerge, a colleague, mentor, or even someone in a position of influence who has been quietly observing your growth. Their interest in you is not surface level. They recognize your resilience, your brilliance, and your potential. And through this recognition, a new path may reveal itself, not as a reward for perfection, but as a reflection of your authenticity. Stay open. What you've worked for is unfolding, not all at once, but steadily, faithfully, and in perfect timing. As these new opportunities begin to take shape around your career, Leo, a quiet but powerful transformation is also unfolding in your financial world. The seeds you planted, some long ago, some more recently, are beginning to break through the surface. You may not have always seen the progress, but beneath the soil of your effort, something has been growing with patience and purpose. Now there is movement. Slowly at first, then steadily, the fruits of your labor begin to reveal themselves, not just in numbers or income, but in a deeper sense of security that comes from knowing you stayed the course when it would have been easier to give up. This chapter is not about sudden windfalls or reckless leaps, but about alignment, financial energy matching the clarity of your actions. You're learning that prosperity flows best when you're not clinging too tightly, when you're not gripping every coin out of fear of loss, but instead trusting that what is meant for you will remain. and what leaves will make space for something even more aligned. There's a wisdom in letting go of financial control in just the right measure, not in recklessness, but in faith. The moment you loosen your grip, even slightly, the universe often surprises you. This could come in the form of a bonus, a payment you weren't expecting, or a reward for something you did not realize had been so deeply valued. It may even come through someone who remembers your generosity or recognizes your worth and wants to reflect it back in a tangible way. These surprises are not accidents. They are part of the quiet return of energy you've long put out into the world. So continue to be intentional, but not rigid. Grateful, but not afraid. Trust that the flow of money, like breath, is healthiest when it moves in rhythm. Giving and receiving, holding and releasing. The more at peace you are with that rhythm, the more ease you will feel in your financial life. And as the material world begins to reflect your inner alignment, Leo, your heart, the sacred center of your fire, is entering a chapter of deep reevaluation and quiet courage. Love for you has never been casual. It's a place where you give generously, where you remain loyal even when others waver, where you hold on to hope even when the connection begins to fray. But now, something within you is shifting. You're starting to see more clearly what is nourishing and what is simply familiar. For some of you, this clarity may bring a difficult but liberating decision. The ending of a relationship that has long drained your light, a connection built on conditions, inconsistency, or the illusion of love rather than its substance. This isn't about blame, and it's not about anger. It's about recognizing that your growth no longer fits inside the emotional space that once held you. You may feel grief, yes, but beneath it there is also relief, and even a strange peace, because you're no longer betraying yourself to keep someone else comfortable. For those still entangled in a relationship that exists in a state of limbo, where promises remain unspoken and love feels more like guessing than knowing, the pressure is building. The person on the other side is beginning to sense your detachment, and whether they choose to act or not is no longer your responsibility. The power dynamic is shifting, not because of games or strategy, but because you are no longer waiting to be chosen. You're choosing yourself now, not in defiance but in love. You're no longer asking, do they want me? But rather, does this feel safe for my heart, for my growth, for my future? And that single shift changes everything. If you are currently single, the energy around you is ripe for something new. Not just any new person, but a connection that mirrors your recent evolution. Someone emotionally available, present, and willing to meet you without masks or conditions. This potential may come quietly, through a conversation, a glance, a shared value, but it will carry a frequency of truth, and if you stay open, you will feel it. More than anything, Leo, this moment in your love life is not about who stays or who leaves. It's about the unwavering relationship you're building with yourself. That's the foundation. That's the mirror. And as you deepen that relationship, the people who enter or remain will not be those who dim your system is softening. The tension is beginning to ease. The fatigue that once clung to your mornings is lifting. You may find yourself breathing deeper, sleeping more soundly, or simply noticing small moments of vitality returning, not in grand bursts, but in gentle waves, reminding you that healing does not always arrive with fireworks, but often with quiet consistency. This is a time to remain devoted to the practices that nourish you, not out of pressure, but out of respect for the vessel that carries you. Whether it's the way you stretch your body in the morning, the meals you choose with intention, or the few extra minutes you spend unplugged before bed, these small rituals are not insignificant. Your body is responding to your care, and while progress may feel slow, it is steady and real. Let go of the expectation that wellness must always be dramatic or instantly visible. Trust that the roots of strength are growing deeper with every gentle choice you make. Spending time in nature, especially under the sun, is more than a luxury for you now. It's a medicine. The warmth of sunlight on your skin, the stillness of trees, the rhythm of waves or wind. These are not background elements, they are part of your recovery. Nature mirrors your own cycle of renewal. When you step outside, even for a short walk or a moment of stillness, you reconnect to something ancient and effortless, something that reminds your nervous system that it is safe to slow down. And in that space, your body begins to recalibrate, not through force, but through permission. So listen to your body, Leo, not just when it shouts, but when it whispers. It is speaking to you now with signals of restoration, guiding you toward balance, not through control, but through presence. This is not about reaching a perfect state, but about learning to live in harmony with yourself again. Keep going gently. Your wellness is not just returning, it is evolving, just like you. And as the rhythms of your body begin to realign, Leo, you may also notice a softening within the spaces that shaped you. Your family, your roots, the people who've known you from the beginning, even if they haven't always known how to love you well. Today, the energy around your family connections is tender, healing, and ripe for resolution. A particular dynamic involving an older female figure, perhaps a mother, grandmother, or an aunt, comes into focus. There may have been tension here, misunderstandings that stretched over years, or simply emotional distance born from difference. But now something shifts. The atmosphere feels more open. A conversation that once seemed impossible might now flow with surprising ease, not because everything is perfect, but because your heart is no longer carrying the same weight of expectation. In this space of softened edges, you're invited to reconnect, not from a place of obligation, but from quiet sincerity. A phone call, a shared meal, even a few honest words can go a long way in building or mending bridges that once felt too fragile to cross. You don't need to fix everything in one moment, but your willingness to meet someone halfway, to listen and to be seen, opens the door for healing that serves not only them, but you too. And through all these layers of movement, internal and external, you are not walking alone. The energies most compatible with your current frequency are rising around you, whether through friends, co-workers, or partners who reflect the new version of you that is emerging. Signs like Capricorn, Sagittarius, and Taurus may bring grounding and momentum, while Libra, Cancer, and Pisces offer emotional balance and softness. Aries, ever bold, mirrors your fire in ways that challenge and inspire. These zodiac connections may feel more meaningful now, not because you need them, but because they meet you where you already are. Today, let the color golden yellow be your companion. It is the shade of sunlight warming your shoulders, of courage that doesn't shout but glows, of joy that returns not in flashes but in steady waves. And if you feel drawn to symbols or numbers, carry with you the energies of 9, 20, 31, 42, 53, and 64, each one a quiet affirmation that you are seen, supported, and more divinely guided than you realize. Let this be your reminder, Leo. The universe is not asking you to race ahead, only to stay present with the path as it unfolds beneath your feet. Everything you need is already reaching for you. Keep moving forward with trust. You're not just surviving this season, you're being reshaped by it. So Leo, as this day draws to a close, take a moment to really feel the shift that is taking place, not just in your circumstances, but deep within you. You've spent so long trying to hold everything together, trying to be strong for others, trying to make sense of things that never quite aligned. But now, the energy is different. It's quieter, steadier, more rooted in who you are becoming. This isn't about dramatic change for the sake of change. It's about alignment, about returning to the rhythm of your own truth after drifting for so long in someone else's current. You are not who you were 6 months ago, not even who you were yesterday, and that matters. Your growth has been subtle, often invisible to others, but undeniable to the soul that lives inside your chest. You've been showing up, learning to listen to your intuition, creating space for peace, and daring to ask yourself what it truly means to be fulfilled. Not just successful, not just loved by others, but whole in your own eye. That kind of transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens moment by moment, choice by choice, breath by breath. And today, Leo, you are standing at the edge of something new, something you've earned. Not by rushing, but by staying. So, wherever you are tonight, whether in your room, in your thoughts, or somewhere in between, I invite you to pause and offer yourself the gentleness you often give to others. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need every answer right now. All you need is trust. Trust that everything you've released was making room for something far more aligned. Trust that your timing is not late. Trust that your light, no matter how quiet it feels, is still shining. And as always, I'm so honored to walk this journey with you. If this reading has touched something in you, I invite you to stay connected, like, subscribe, or simply return when your heart needs a reminder of who you are. Until next time, Leo, keep choosing yourself, keep trusting your pace, and, most of all, keep shining in the only way you know how, authentically, fiercely, and with a heart full of fire. The universe sees you, I see you, and you are exactly where you are meant to be.